It's all published there on the web. And it is clear from the evidence that the benefits to you of having the jab outweigh the risks and critically have an impact on everybody else. And you're doing this not just for you, but for your loved ones and for your country. And that message, has really resonated over the last few months, and it's led to this enormous programme. I was knocking on doors in Birmingham with Andy Street yesterday.
To the north of that, a lot of dry weather, a fair bit of sunshine, and still wintry showers. Now, some of those in heavier bursts will get down to lower levels. 4 degrees in Norway. In Stornoway, Lerwick seeing 3 degrees, still remaining cold. Naga and Charlie.
Carol, thank you very much. See you later on.
No, it's lovely. Lots of weather going on there. Lots of golf. Look at you.
I can outshine Carol
so
for once, can't I? I've got more sunshine than Carol. That's not often.
You absolutely have.
Yeah.
Absolutely have. You put her in the shade.
Some splendid shrubbery as well, because the Augusta, at this time of year, the Masters or Augusta, it's as much about the blooming bushes as it is about the terrific tee shots, isn't it? As you were saying earlier, Charlie, we admire the sights on the fairways, don't we? And
absolutely.
The beautiful greens as well. Been looking forward to it all week, of course. This afternoon,
giving me the information so that I can make up my own mind.
The World Service definitely keeps people informed, and I love it.
Bringing the world closer. The BBC World Service.
Good morning, welcome to Breakfast with Naga Manchetti and Charlie State.
Our headlines today, reassuring the public that the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine is safe.
They're effective and they're working to help us get out of this pandemic.
The vaccination rollout in England is breaking the link between coronavirus infections and deaths.
Good morning to you. It's Thursday, the 8th of April. Ministers are urging people to have full confidence in the COVID vaccination programme. It follows a change in guidelines about the AstraZeneca jab from the official regulator, the MHRA.
So let's remind ourselves of just what those changes are. From the chairman of the Joint Committee on Vaccination and Immunisation, that's Professor Anthony Harnden, told us the timescale of the vaccination rollout will not be affected.
Chief Political Correspondent Adam Fleming. Adam, morning to you. So, making it really clear that the vaccination programme isn't going to change, but what so many people are concerned about as well is the roadmap out of lockdown the government's laid out, and how perhaps if the vaccine rollout changes or is even slightly tweaked.
But this change is not a big enough change to affect that. So as far as the government is concerned, the roadmap is still on track. Is there targets for the vaccine programme overall? So remember, that first target is for the top 9 priority groups, the over 50s, the clinically vulnerable, people who work in the health services, for they to be offered a first jab by the end of next week. And then for every other adult in England to be offered their first dose by the end of July.
10.1 million people aged between 18 and 29 in this country, in the UK. And 1.6 million of them have already been vaccinated because either they're care workers or they might be clinically extremely vulnerable. That leaves around 8.5 million people, and we have more than enough Pfizer and Moderna vaccine so that if all of them get that jab, then we'll be able to ensure everybody can get it.
There are enough doses that no matter what people in that age group choose to do as a result of this change to the advice, things should be fine.
Let's have a look at some of the problems facing in Northern Ireland at the moment. A bus we know has been hijacked. Just talk us through what has been happening most recently, also some of the reaction.
Yes, Charlie. Well, what is causing particular concern about the violence last night is that it happened at a peace line, so in the mainly Republican Springfield Road area. Now, a bus was hijacked, as you say, something which they feel undermines their sense of British identity that they feel very strongly. Also, last week, renewed anger that prosecutors didn't take action against senior Sinn Féin politicians for alleged breaches of coronavirus restraint. Recalled from the Easter break to debate a motion condemning the violence. We can expect them to have differing opinions as to exactly what is the root cause of this rioting.
Has been confirmed as London student Richard Okorogeye. The 19-year-old who had sickle cell disease hadn't been seen by his family since he left their home in Ladbroke Grove in London on the 22nd of March.
Has accused Myanmar's military regime of bullying after the country's UK ambassador was locked out of his embassy in London. He was no longer Myanmar's representative.
Time now is 10 minutes past 8. Now, something brilliant to show you. Maybe you're excited about going back to the shops, they're reopening. Perhaps this is what you might find. Store in Bangkok, you may be pleased to know, all the way in Bangkok. It was hungry. It was just in search of some food. It was later trapped and removed by police.
I wonder if it was actually hungry, just trying to escape the kind of noise and just get out of the trouble. That's what my instinct is.
Well, it might be warm up there on the shelves near the lights, because lizards are cold-blooded, aren't they?
Possibly.
So it might be warm up there on the lights and comfortable, and you have a good view of, all around. Why wouldn't you? Carol, don't you think that's a perfectly reasonable explanation?